Good morning, everybody. It's Trent Klarenbach with Klarenbach Research. Today is October the 1st, 2024, and today I'll change it up a little bit. We'll look at a stock, an energy stock, and the one we'll look at today is Baytex Energy Corp. Now, Baytex trades in the New York Stock Exchange and the Toronto Stock Exchange. I will look at the Toronto Stock Exchange chart because a lot of their activity is in Canada and near my previous residence, and I have a large number of friends who work for the company Baytex Energy Corp. So the first chart is the weekly chart on the TSX. You can see that yesterday closed at 404, just above, that psychologically important round number of $4 per share. Now, I believe, and often happens, that once you break those psychologically round numbers, like a 4, for example, $4 per share, you can often see an accelerated sell-off in the stock. So will that happen? I don't know, but that's what often happens, and that's what I anticipate can and maybe does happen in this case. So I have moving averages on here. The purple is the 200-week moving average. You can see it's still advancing, but we are below it. The green 50-week moving average is overhead and is about to cross the 200-week moving average. Now, they call that a death cross when the 50 crosses the 200. I don't get too excited and get too hung up and too stuck on death crosses. They're probably more effective. You get more of a reaction when the price is close to the actual cross itself. If it's too far away, it seems to have really insignificance relevance, but keep an eye on it. There's other traders who are looking at it who may act accordingly upon that cross. Now you can see here, this is the third time, we're testing that $4 level, and we tested that back in June of 23. Got down to a low of 383 before buyers stepped in. Again, we did it in January and February of this current year. And again, we're testing it again. Now, every time you test a level of support, for example, that level of support gets weakened as each time you test it, there's more buyers that step in. But those buyers seem to get exhausted with every test. You might be running out of buyers here, that $4 level. I'll show you something else that's interesting. I talk about the volume weighted average price. Let's anchor it from this gap down here in March 9th, 2020. And take a look at that. This blue line represents the average price paid for the stock since March 9th of 2020. And you can see here that, we get close to that anchored volume weighted average price. Buyers tend to step in, right? At the $4 level, and again at the $4 level here in January, February 24, and right now we're finding buyers stepping in at that level. Now, why is it important? Well, if we start closing below that price, then the average owner of a stock in Baytex since March 9th, 2020 will be losing money. And if you're losing money, are you more apt to buy or add to the position, or more apt to sell your position? So interestingly enough, this anchored volume weighted average price is sitting at 392, just below the psychologically important round number of 4, which has been acting as support in the past. We'll see if this level continues to hold, but if we start getting closes below $4, then I anticipate somewhat of a rapid sell-off. The daily chart here shows you a little more detail, and you can see here how we've been finding buyers at that level again. And I don't think this thing is, who knows what's going to happen, but just keep an eye on this $4 level, and you may want to revisit your long position if we start closing below $4. My name is Trent Klarenbach. It's going to be a great day in Saskatoon. Life's good.